Welcome to Waka Wednesday on Heian Haven. I'm Dawn. Let's talk about connection. Our selections for today are 3 poems from chapter 22 of the Genji Monogatari, Tamakazura. I've transcribed the text of the poems from each of our translators in the description down below. Let's set the stage. The child of Yugao, one of Genji's lovers, now grown, has been found. Genji intends to adopt the girl as his own as a memento of her mother, saying her father, Tono Chujo, has too many children already and she would be neglected. He writes a letter to the young woman to see what she is like and make his intentions known. It included this poem, born of prose. The one who addresses you, you do not know, but you need only ask and will quickly learn what lasting bond, stem by stem, the Mishima reeds proclaim. That's Tyler's translation. Genji absolutely meant his poem as a test of her courtly skills. It was believed that a lot can be learned not only from the substance of the response, but also to how it is written, the calligraphy, even the paper it's written on, and whether or not it's scented. Often women write in ink that fades in and out, sometimes faint and others dark and bold. Their voices were also meant to trail off if following the fashionable style. Tyler's footnote says, "This poem is grammatically continuous with the prose that precedes it. It affirms the lasting tie between Genji and Tamakazura. It is quite difficult. Perhaps Genji means it as a sort of test. Mishima Cove, Mishimae, a spot along the Yodo River between Kyoto and Naniwa, was associated in poetry with densely growing Mikuri reeds. The many suji, lines, of which introduce or ornament the idea of suji as connection between one person and another." So not only is Genji testing her, he's also inviting her to ask about their connection with his use of the Mishima reeds. Let's compare that with Washburn's translation to see what we can learn. My purpose in writing to you like this, you may not understand, but ask and you will find that our connection is long and everlasting, like stems of Mikuri reed at Mishimae. The nuance of the original that comes through from Tyler is made more plain in Washburn's version with the use of the word connection versus Tyler's lasting bond. Washburn's footnote offers a little more on the use of the word suji in the original. Genji plays on the word suji, which refers both to the stems of the reeds found at the inlet of Mishima, Mishimae, and to connections between people. This plays on stems, connections, is a central one in the poetic discourse of this chapter. Now, knowing that everything about her response is going to be judged, and afraid of seeming too provincial, the young lady responded with just this poem. "You speak of lines and rushes, and by what line has this poor rush taken root in this sad world?" That's Seidensticker's translation. I enjoy the brevity in his translations. It reminds me of Tanka without being Tanka because it's truncated. The young lady has obviously understood Genji's test, replying with just the poem on nice paper in faint calligraphy that Genji judged as undeveloped but with potential. She has offered in response a heartfelt but gentle lament, not only asking what connection they share, but expressing her sorrow with her life so far, all while echoing the imagery of Genji's poem as it should. Later in the chapter, Genji composes a poem while thinking of his new ward. This is the poem from which the young lady's moniker, Tamakazura, is taken. "Yes, my love lives on, just as it did long ago, yet, O tendril wreath, say what long and winding stem led you all the way to me." Again, Tyler's translation. Genji is proclaiming his unending love for Yugao and wondering aloud how Tamakazura has been brought into his life. All 3 poems use connection as their central theme, playing off of stem or lines, suji. Tyler's footnote says, "In the original, Tamakazura, tendril wreath, functions mainly as an ornament to the suji, stem, that appeared, with its implications of connection, in Genji and Tamakazura's exchange of poems." I find it interesting that Tyler translates suji in 2 different ways, lines and stem, both with connection as an undertone. Reading the different translations gives an extra insight into the connections that the translators are drawing with their use of both lines and stems. What do you think? And now for my Tanka inspired by the selection. "What connection binds us now, one to another, like Mishima reeds? The thought of you has taken such firm root within my heart." What has inspired you this week? Share your poem in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to explore the Heian period of Japan with me through poetry.